Before I continue discussing the markets, please take this moment now with helping me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click subscribe, click this bell, click all. This helps you receive a notification when I post my next videos. Next, click the thumbs up button every time you watch my videos. Okay, let's continue with the view of the markets. In this video, I'm going to discuss the futures market. The future market's a different exchange. It's not the stock exchange, the futures market, Chicago Merchandise Exchange. They trade a variety of products, currencies, commodities, and commodities is very broad. Commodities includes energy products, metal products, agricultural products. And since past Friday was the last trading day of January, we're going to do a market wrap looking at the higher time frame. Each candle would be a month. So here we're looking at the currencies, and this is the cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. We took out the high of last month, and that may become a reversal on that candle right there. We'll see what happens coming to the new month. The US dollar index, we took out the low of last year, and then we closed back inside the range. So maybe we'll have a reversal there. But the bigger picture is the momentum has been down, weakening the US dollar. Look at the past 4 years of the whipsaw of the US dollar. Some of this is done by the Federal Reserve, the administration, but the bigger picture is done by the leadership for the past 4 years of this whipsaw on the US dollar. Policies, choices they make. And we'll see what happens in the next 4 years, the coming 4 years. Okay, let's go look at the currencies, the big currencies that are in the US dollar index. We're looking at them in the futures market, not the Forex market today. We're looking at the currencies here. In the futures market, they start with a /6, and this is the euro. So the euro is the biggest weighted currency in the US dollar, makes up the largest percentage. And as this is going up, that means the euro is getting strength against the US dollar. Well, we took out the high of last year. That's strong for the euro. We did close back inside the body of last month, building a consolidation maybe, but the momentum has been up. Japanese yen, that's one of the safe haven currencies people fly to for safety. US dollar, Japanese yen, and Swiss franc. We just saw US dollars declining. That's not where people are going for safe haven. So Japanese yen, we did not take out the high of last year. We did trade above the high of last month and below it, and this looks like a bearish engulfing. That may be a reversal for prices to go lower. British pound, the third strongest currency in the US dollar. We took out the high of last year. The momentum has been up. It's been gaining strength since the UK left the EU. The bias is for the stronger pound against the euro, and I showed that in the past currency videos. You may want to look at that on this YouTube channel. Click on playlists and you'll see currencies. Canadian dollar, we took out the high of last year. Now we close red, maybe reversal. Swiss franc, again, that's one of the 3 safe haven currencies. We took out the high of last year, strong momentum to the upside. But for the month, we closed back inside last month. In the Australian dollar, we also took out the high of last year and closed back inside the body. So the takeaway is many of these currencies took out the highs of last year. The momentum is to the upside. They may have pullbacks briefly or go in a consolidation form. But again, they're gaining strength against the US dollar. Let's look at the yields and treasuries. Yields reflect the direction of interest rates. Yields go higher, interest rates go higher. Here's the high of last year for the 30-year yield. We're not there, but we did take out the high of last month. Broke out as consolidation going higher, and interest rates have gone up since the low of last year. I know that because I refinanced my mortgage, was locked at a low interest rate past October. Got a 2.5% interest rate for a 30-year for my refinance my mortgage, and the interest rates are higher since that one. Looking at the 10-year yield. Did not take out the high of last year, but we broke out of this consolidation, trending higher. In the 5-year, we tested above that 5, closed back below it. Here's the high of last year, but still in this tight consolidation, trending higher. And the treasuries trade inverse of the yields. Yields go higher, interest rates go higher, treasuries go lower. This is the 30-year treasury. 30-year treasury is a bond. When you hear they refer to the bonds in the Treasury Department, that means financial instruments that have at least a 30-year period. It's trending lower. It broke below the consolidation. Maybe it's going to go down here. You could trade this. The 10-year is a note. We broke below the consolidation, closed back inside of it, but the momentum looks like it's going lower. And the 5-year, tight consolidation, real tight. We'll see what happens there, because this has been a supply zone on top, demand zone on the bottom, tight coil. When that breaks out, that's going to be very interesting what's going to follow through. Watch that closely, the 5-year. 5-year here on the treasury, on the yields as well too. On to the next part of commodities, or the next part of futures, which is now we're looking at the agricultural. The agricultural grains. Again, there's many grain products, coffee beans, rice, but I'm going to show you the major ones, the ones that are traded the most. Corn. We took out the high of last year, huge move up. Yep, corn is also used for ethanol and feed for livestock. So it's not just used for the staple as we know it as, for corn on the cob. Has many uses. But past 4-5 years, look how the momentum's gone. It's gone higher. Do you see signs of inflation? What about when you buy retail stuff? Wheat took out the high of last year. The momentum, it's at the all-time high right now. Wheat. It's used for many products, cereals, breads. Do you see any signs of inflation? Soy took out the high of last year. Huge move up. Excuse me. Soy is also not just used in food products. Soy is also used in commercial usage, into parts of plastics. Also, soy for the past few years has had an increase for people that are in the vegetarian, vegan diets. There's a company called Beyond Meat. They make patties. They're not made out of beef. They're made out of, big part of it is soy. And Beyond Meat trades in the stock market. Let's look at that stock for a moment. Bravo, Yankee, November, Delta. Yep. It's much more an acceleration, but the momentum's still higher off the bottoms. And lumber, we took out the high of last year. It's near the record high for the past several years. Lumber has a big usage in the United States. Remember, many countries build their infrastructure out of concrete, but United States home builders build less expensive homes for them to build because they use cheap lumber instead of using harder building materials, either metal or concrete. And most of the US lumber comes from Canada. So we already saw the Canadian dollar was gaining strength against the US dollar, and the lumber costs going higher. More money to build homes. Okay, let's go on to the next agricultural. The agriculture of livestock. Again, there's many livestock products, but look like the main one. Lean live cattle. Here's the high of last year. Here we are right now. It's an acceleration phase. Well, we didn't take out the high. Is that because those vegetarians and vegan eaters, are they changing people to make more people eat less beef? Is that a conspiracy? Haha. Some fake news might report that. Okay, here's cattle feed. Yes, cattle feed is used to feed other animals and themselves. So here's the high of last year. We have not taken it out. It's an acceleration phase. And lean hog. Here's the high of last year. We have not taken it out, but pegging. There we go. We just looked at agriculturals. Let's go on to some other commodities. Energy futures. The dirty fossil fuels, crude oil, natural gas, propane, those are dirty fossil fuels. What's a clean energy? Hydro, wind, solar, crude oil. We're trading above $50, a big round number. Remember, I use big round numbers for significant charting purposes. And here's the high of last year. We did not take it out, but we took out the high of last month and closed above $50. Here's a big consolidation, and I labeled the midpoint for technical reasons. And we're right there, so that may be a potential reversal or a follow-through breakthrough. I'll be looking at the faster time frame for trade ideas. Yep, you could trade this either direction and make money either direction. If you don't want to trade it in the futures market, you could trade it in the stock market. The stock symbol is Uniform Sierra Oscar. Natural gas, a product I trade monthly using options off the stock ETF Uniform November GOV. It has paid me good. Here's the high of last year. Look what we did for the current month of January. Made an inside candle. That means indecision, but it's a solid body that's equivalent to a red. But the momentum has still been to the upside. So we already see commodities are trading higher in the energy market. Is that a sign of inflation? Again, this is not just occurring for the month of January. It's been occurring before the November past election. So some people may spread false lies intentionally. Let's look at the metals. Gold, the largest metal traded. We did not take out the high last year. We're in consolidation, still holding above a demand zone. And I'm still bullish. I've been trading long gold often. Using the stock symbol GLD, trading options on it. Silver, here's the high of last year. We took out the high of last month. Here's the demand zone. What is the demand zone? Demand zone in the past where buyers were. The momentum's still up. Platinum, we took out the high of last year. Wow. Huge trading range for January. And we closed near the opening, nearly. That's where the body is. Small trading range for the body where it opened and closed. That was the high and low, those tills, also refer to shadows. Very interesting if we're going to have a reversal, roll over. And copper, we took out the high of last year. You see a sign of inflation? And that candle could be considered a bearish pin bar, so it may have a reversal. Copper is a big use, industrial use, and homes. So typically when the commodity of copper goes higher, typically that follows through later of an increase of home goods, home products, construction. Yep, but we're going to see now if this rolls over, goes lower, maybe because interest rates go higher, less demand in new construction. So many things to factor in. Okay, I'm going to end here. Now you've seen the bigger picture on the higher time frame. You know more than a lot of the elected leaders, and you certainly know a lot more than what the corporate media chooses to share with you. If you like this market information I've shared and want to learn more with greater detail, step-by-step training, I have a Patreon page. I share trade ideas for earning monthly income. Below in the description box, click Show More. Scroll down. This link here, click on it. Take you here to my Patreon page. Select a membership and join. Then you have access to unlock my posts.